I don't know if you can hear that. I imagine you cannot hear the sound of this mayonnaise coming out of this container. It is disgusting. Some of you people who enjoy this, good for you, more for you. Just, ugh. So gross. Hey everyone, we are on week 33 of our Sunday dinners. This week we're moving a little bit away from some of that pork and beef, and we're going to do some chicken today. Show you the menu here. We have tomato bouillon, graham rolls, which required a graham flour, and I don't know about you and where you're at, but I could not find graham flour in any of my grocery stores. I had to order it from Amazon. There is also the fricasseed chicken, corn on the cob, sweet pickles, flaked potatoes, head lettuce with cheese dressing, August apple pudding, and of course, there's always coffee on this menu. The one that we are skipping today is the pickles because it is the day beforehand and I didn't make these pickles ahead of time. If this is your first time joining us, hello, my name is Ashley. I'm the Vintage Dietitian. I'm a registered dietitian in the state of Pennsylvania. I found this cookbook along with some others in this series at an antique shop. I do collect vintage cookbooks, but this one just seemed so neat. I wanted to make all of these dinners and I thought I would film them and bring you along. We are at the day before dinner today, and today we're gonna do some of that prep work so that not all of it is there for tomorrow. We're gonna be making the graham rolls, the cheese dressing, and we're gonna get most of the stuff for the August apple pudding prepped and ready to go. Before we get started on these, just look at how cute this bag is. I'd just like to point out a bit of an issue here. This graham flour, my understanding, is extra coarse whole meal flour. I don't know if sifters were larger back then, if the flour was not ground as coarsely, maybe it was ground a little more fine, or maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about and this isn't graham flour, but maybe we will sift what we can through here and then mix the extra coarse part in, but we're already off to a great start. Here's my solution. I've sifted everything else together, and then the leftover really thick bits at the top, I'm dumping right on top, and I am just going to mix it in here and then re-sift this 2 more times. For those of you who maybe this is an American thing that I don't know what's going on here, because this does say it's from Ireland. So if you are watching and either you're not American or you have an expertise in baking, or this is common knowledge and I'm an idiot, which is also a possibility here, let those of us clueless people know what is going on here and if I am doing something wrong or if there is some other knowledge that could be helpful here. Round 2. Round 3. Now this says 1.5 cups more or less depending. It is very, very humid here. It is raining and humid. I don't know that we'll need the full 1.5 cups, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm supposed to flour this with the all-purpose flour. Well, they said white flour. I'm hoping they meant all-purpose by white, or the graham flour. So we did a little half and halfsies here, and hopefully this is gonna work out. So with that, just over a cup of milk that I put in there, it's already pretty sticky. So I'm not gonna put any more in there, and it says to work it lightly. I assume that means to knead it. So we're gonna work it, then put our thing down, flip it, and reverse it. I know some of you are going to be outraged that I'm not using Hellmann's. Some of you are going to be outraged that I'm not using Duke's. And some of you are going to be outraged that I'm not using my own homemade mayonnaise. However, the recipe said any mayonnaise. And we get ours from Aldi, and that is what we're using. I don't know if you can hear that. I imagine you cannot hear the sound of this mayonnaise coming out of this container. It is disgusting. Some of you people who enjoy this, good for you, more for you. Just, ugh. So gross. This is really what they were putting on their salads back in the 20s. It is currently so humid in here that my celery salt will not come out. All right, that thing's real kind of cool in theory, and I'm sure it works well for somebody who knows what they're doing. I am not that person at the moment, so we're gonna just go the old-fashioned way and chop this up. I paused real quick on the apple chopping right now because the rolls smell so good. Took this little guy out of the middle. I'm just gonna break him open. Oh, that looks and smells delicious. It is steaming hot. Normally I wait and try everything at dinner time, but there's a warm roll in front of me, so I have to go for it. Oh, really good. The texture with that extra course meal is really, really nice. You know I have to try it with a little butter. It smells delicious. We're back. It is dinner day. I kind of want to preface this with the recipe by saying this recipe calls for a plump fowl. It specifies that it's better than a young fowl because it has more flavor. I called around, I stopped around, I put out feelers on social media. I assume that an old chicken is something that isn't sold or done in this day and age. So the chicken that we're using today is going to be a young frying chicken. So I'm gonna keep that in mind when I try it. The other thing that I need to preface here is that the recipe calls for us to flour the chicken. Nowhere in that flour does it mention adding seasonings. And I am a firm believer that fried chicken is a gift from Almighty God. It is just the perfect food, and to serve a bland fried chicken would just be unthinkable. So I called around. I called my grandmother, several more people who did say that when they and their parents and grandparents made fried chicken back in the day, they seasoned the flour. I am going to take this recipe and assume that the women doing this cooked all the time and they knew to season the flour when it said to flour the chicken. Let's get going. So this here is the young frying chicken. We do not, it's a kind of a slim looking chicken. She is not a plump old fowl, but we're still gonna work with her. Just get her dried off a little bit and chop her up. We are all cut up. This here, the ribs, the scraps, we are not just throwing that away, so don't you fret. We are doing exactly what our grandmothers would have been doing in the 20s. I'm going to freeze this until I have enough built up to make a giant stock bone broth from. I will use it then, but this will not go to waste. Oh, I think this is gonna be good. Okay, this is maybe a little more than a light golden. Putting in our salt and pepper here. It doesn't say whether I cook it covered, uncovered. I feel like we should leave it uncovered, at least for a little while. Good enough for me. Let's get these apples that we chopped up yesterday in here. A little cinnamon sugar. I don't know what a little is. Start with this overflowing tablespoon. A little more. A little, a lottle. Holy crap. A cup. Did I read that right? A cup? A cup. Please tell me it didn't say 2 tablespoons, because that is nuts. A cup. Now we're going in with 2 tablespoons of butter. I feel like probably I should have spread that out a little better. And then pour the hot water right over top. So we are just gonna steam boil this sucker. I think I'm gonna put this in at about 300. So really thinking at the moment, with this meal for a family of 6, right about now, I could really use 4 of those kids to be in here sous chefing for me and getting some of this work done, because my time management skills right now are not great. I also have zero clue how much or how many tomatoes are sufficient to make 2 cups of juice. I don't know how to tell that. This seems like maybe enough, but then maybe it's not. So I'm going to do what any good Italian does. And when I think it seems like enough with my cooking, I'm going to do like double that. Hopefully that will transfer into 2 cups of juice. Here's our choice of potatoes. If you look at this one like this, if I hold it and you look at it like this, it kind of looks like it's free of blemishes. It looks like we will definitely have more than 2 cups of juice. It will be sufficient. 3 cups of boiling water with 2 cubes of bouillon there. You know, there just wasn't enough sugar in this meal yet, so to the tomato bouillon, we are adding a teaspoon of sugar. Ooh, this already feels like it's falling apart a little bit. This is really, really feeling like there's good potential here. Ooh, that hot plate was a good choice. I can hear it sizzling on the plate. Oh yeah, baby, that is just falling apart. I do have this sitting on a towel because after soaking, it is dripping wet. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way because they don't mention drying it, and they say to soak it until you're just about ready to serve and pull it apart. Maybe pull the leaves apart. I can't imagine that we are supposed to just serve a whole leaf, although this is probably really big compared to the heads they would have had back in the day. Or does each person get their own individual little small head and you pull it up? I don't know. Ah! Hot. We have our hot potatoes, our hot plate. I do not have a coarse sieve unpacked at the moment, So we are going to do the best we can with what we've got, and I'm actually going to use the pastry blender and see if I can flake it across that. This is hot as heck, and oh wait, I'm supposed to peel it. Crap. How am I supposed to peel it this hot? Okay, hold on. Ah, it is so hot. Man, maybe women's hands were just made of something stronger back in the day. If I am just a giant moron with this kind of stuff, please let me know your tricks to getting this done, or if there is some commonly known thing, or if I read this recipe wrong. I don't know. Yeah, help a girl out here. How in the world do you peel a hot potato? I mean, who made this recipe up and thought this was a good idea and worth the effort? Like, just bake a potato or make mashed potatoes or something. This is not even adding any flavor to it. It's just potato flakes. All right, let's try it. Ah, too hot. Mother duck. This is not working super well. I guess, it's flaking. Oh, this is a mess. Ah, I just lost that apple potato down the sink. You know what? Chicken is gonna be worth all this stupid potato effort. Holy crap. Maybe that's why you needed a sieve. Good enough. We don't need that other potato to be on here. Good enough. Oh, this tomato smells so good. All right, there you have it. We have our tomato bouillon, our graham rolls, our head lettuce with our dressing, our flaked potatoes, and the star of the show. Look at it steaming. The chicken, and oh, I almost forgot our, holy crap. I don't know if you heard that, but lightning just struck and thunder hit real hard. It has decided to start storming now. This meal took many more hours and a lot more effort than I was expecting. As a result of that, the battery, actually all the batteries to my camera have died, and we are now on the iPhone for the results. Bear with me if it looks different or if it's a little shaky. I hope it doesn't come through that way. All right, and got my makeup is running. That's when you know the meal took a lot of effort, when all of the makeup on my face is melting. So bear with me, just look at the food instead of my face. Let's try tomato bouillon here with a graham roll. It smells so good. It kind of tastes like I'm drinking tomato juice or eating really thin tomato soup. Try it in this graham roll. I don't know if you're supposed to dip it, but I am. These rolls are so good. The texture of this is so delicious. Yeah, that one's a success. Okay, now this one I'm not really looking forward to. Maybe it'll be good though. I don't know. If you like mayonnaise, maybe this is good. Mayonnaise and iceberg. This seems to me like a bad topping for a hamburger, not a salad. It's not good. It just tastes so heavy and like mayonnaise. I don't know. It needs something to brighten it up. It just, yeah, they were built differently in the 20s. If you like this kind of food, I guess great. Or if you like mayonnaise, great. But yeah, maybe skip this dressing. All right, we're gonna get a little flaked potato on there. Let's get some of that chicken. This is the part I want to eat. I wish you could smell this because it smells like heaven. Actually, I'm gonna try the potato first. Tastes like a plain potato. It smells so good. I don't know if you just heard that. Lightning and thunder hit real hard. Maybe that was a good reaction for this chicken because it is pretty darn good. It is just nice and tender. The flavor's really great. I would for sure make this again. Oh yeah, the potatoes actually. All right, I take back what I said about the potatoes. The potatoes flaked, whoopsie, with this gravy is great. I would never go through the effort of flaking all those potatoes again, but the potatoes with that chicken make it even better. If I didn't know that I had put a half a cup of sugar in the water, I don't think I would notice actually. I think the fact that I know that I put sugar in there is throwing me off, but the flavor is pretty decent. I mean, it just tastes like sweet corn. That's hot. That's still really hot. The flavor and texture though, this might be going into our modern day rotation because this could only be improved by vanilla ice cream. Join us next week where we make the 34th Sunday dinner menu, which is going to include meatloaf with pea and carrot sauce. So please join in for that and see what that abomination looks like. Excuse me, we need some time to be alone here.